And here we go. Our second game of the day. The Moncton High School Purple Knights and Saint-Jean-Eudes Condors. Our first game of Division II hockey. Here we go. Face-off initially starts with a Condors win. It's rimmed around. Harris going to try to hold in at the line. This one just gets by Kerrigan. Kerrigan, it's just under his feet. Harris trying to step in. He's poke checked there by Andrews, and they enter in offside. Here we go, Moncton High bringing in the zone. It's a drop off to the blue line. The shot, that one just misses wide. It's on the side of the net. Taken out by Byron. It's going to be flipped high in the air. That was intended for Rouet. Back for Warner, sent across. Here's Byron. Skating back across, Belanger. Sends this one up in the direction to Byron. And there's a big hit on Beal. He's going to take a tumble there at center. Beal in the middle. He gets hit again, but we have a penalty coming up against the Condors. So it's going to be a Moncton High power play. It's just behind the play there.
This second game for Moncton High is going to be really important after opening up their tournament with a 5-0 loss to Riverview High School Royals. Not only winning this game, but winning with a lot of goals is going to be very important if they want to keep their playoff dreams alive.
And we've got a 4-minute penalty, so this will be key for Moncton High. It's Nicolas Rouet to the box. And the starting goalies, it's Elias Sock, who is in currently for Moncton High. And for the Condor, it's
Condor penalty to number 88, Nicholas Rouet.
So it's a double minor
4 minutes for kneeing. At 59 seconds. That's Condor penalty number 88, Rouet. 4 minutes for kneeing at 59 seconds.
So this will be key for Moncton High to try to get on the board here. Daigle in to take the draw. Off a tie-up, it's Goulet that sends it to his point man. Warner across for Harris. Back for Warner, back for Harris. They're playing a bit of catch. Harris stepping in. He'll just be onside as multiple players got tangled up. Little flip pass to Daigle, trying to center that out. Chasing for it. Here's Boucher. Puts it to the line. Warner hovers. Harris steps in, puts it to the net. It's deflected up by Goulet. This one will stay in. He's in a stick battle with Boucher. There with Gillis. Belanger brings it around. It's flipped. Caught down by Daigle. Daigle to the line. Harris waits, goes to Warner, back across Daigle. He has a shot. It's saved by the glove of Marno.
Moncton High showing off some excellent passing, and not only passing, but passing on the move with some early chances here in the first period.
And especially with those passes going from one side to the other, from one side to the other. They're really trying to stretch out the Condors' defense. Will be key on this power play. Brandon Warner going down low with Biran. Warner behind the net, watched by Belanger up to the blue line. Waiting, one-touch pass. There's Woods that clears it in. Byron, he's hit by Warner behind the net. Avery's going to go after it. He's given a bump by Kerrigan. Cleared all the way down the ice. This one stopped by Sock. First one there, rushing it across. There's Beal, across for Woods. Woods trying to step in, giving a bit of cross-checks over to Rouet, where he will dump it along the boards, and outside the zone it'll go. Jackson Avery, the first one there for Moncton High.
A big key for the Condors early on in this game is going to be shutting down the Moncton High blue line with those agile defensemen they have and those scoring weapons.
They have scored a lot from the blue line this year, and they're going to need to shut it down. Tyler Warner leads Moncton High in goals. He has 3 in the first 2 games so far. There's Beal in the pile, rimming it around. Goulet and Sylvain up in a puck battle. There's Goulet laying a huge hit, but he's going to get called there. It looks like for interference. It's one guy that likes penalty minutes. It's Joey Goulet. He uses the body and physicality whenever he can, and at certain times will result in calls like this.
Just a late hit on there. If it were a few seconds earlier, it would have been a clean as a whistle, but just wasn't in his favor.
So it's a 4-on-4 for a minute and 45, and the Moncton High will be shorthanded for 15 seconds. Hovering the line, Paquette, pass across. Here's the shot. It's in the glove of Elias Sock for a whistle.
Moncton High penalty, 21, 2 minutes for interference at 3:14.
So just a shot from the line here, Jeremy Sylvain, but tracked by Sock the entire way. Still a minute and a half on the 4-on-4 as we have just gotten this game started. Plenty of more action to go. Woods throwing it across Harris into the feet of Gillis. Gillis, he moves up past Paquette. Braden Daigle cutting in on Sylvain. Stops against the boards, tries to go to the line. Pass is not going to have enough. Keating in there, disrupting. Daigle leaving the line. Woods, cross ice, Captain Harris. Harris to the middle, flipped high. And this will be delayed icing, but not going to get there, or it's deemed that Woods had a chance to stop that one. Harris in his own end, forechecking Paquette. Pass to Woods, tried to get that to center for Avery. Along the wall by Sylvain. Paquette skating in to the middle. The deflection save made by Sock, and the rebound is taken care of. Here's Harris with possession through Paquette. He'll go. Flip it high and into the zone. Glove down by Morneau. Going to make the safe play and elect for a whistle. And we'll take a look at what just happened in front of the Moncton High net, as it was a bit too close for comfort. There's the initial shot deflected on net of Elias Sock. Waiting right there for the rebound looked to be Noah Michaud. Jeremy Sylvain back within his own end. That's an errant pass caught in at the line. Tyler Warner going in with a nice dump and find its way to the corner. Dubé moved across. Tyler Warner at the blue line, trying to send that to his brother Brandon, and that one's intercepted, and they go back the other way. Michaud skating in. What a move! Gets by one Warner, but couldn't quite get by the other. As we're going to see a momentarily power play for the Condors. Tyler Warner back with it in his own end. Moves around the net. Will decide to ice it. It's deflected by Brandon Warner in, and Goulet is about to leave the box here. And there he goes. He's out of the box. Penalties now expired. No goals coming from either side. It's a Purple Knights clear in. Byron behind the net. Fought off by Belanger. The exit pass from Dubé onto the tape of Andrews. Zachary Andrews trying to step in, and he was defended well by Harris. Harris behind the net. He gets tangled up with a man. Goulet in the near corner. Finding it. He'll work his way through. Goulet walking in. He's going to get shoved there by Sylvain, still working his way behind the net. There's a hit on a Condor. He went falling down behind the play. Harris at the red line. He'll shoot it in, and that one was close to going in. It had gone deflecting off the glove of Morneau in the net. And Webb falling down. This gives a chance for the Condors to leave. With speed accelerating at Sylvain. The laid offside. Wayne Gretzky, or Kerrigan with the puck enters the zone. And that'll be an offside.
So far, the Moncton High School Purple Knights really using their physicality here to get in the Condor zone, not letting them put together solid breakouts.
And also something unique about the Condors, their lowest number, other than goaltenders, is 55. Usually you're seeing all these high school teams with lower numbers like Moncton High with all the single digits. There's one caught by Elias Sock. The Condors start at 55 and they end at 99. Faceoff's going to go to Sock's left. It's a tie up. It'll squeak free over for Brandon Warner. He tried to go rink wide and snipe Beal. There's Avery. Tried to move that to Beal. It gets on behind him. Brouette in his own end. Here's Nicolas Rouet trying to work his way through. Gets it back, leaves it off for Guimond, but we have a hand pass, and there's Warner laying a hit after the play. Rouet not too happy. The face-off will go outside the Purple Knights bench. Now moving in, it's Blouin. He gets blown up. So the Condors forced to go back to their own end. Vezina, pass across to the middle, and it's right on the tape of Dubé, although a risky pass. Braden Daigle slipping through the middle, drop pass to Gillis, and he couldn't quite get the shot off. Would have been a beautiful goal. There's Gillis fighting with his man Badal. Rimmed around the boards by Vezina. Caught in by Daigle, will go outside for Harris, who's going to ram that off the boards. Behind the net, Morneau. His defenseman, Alexis Vezina, the first one there. Vezina emerges from his net, then tries to throw it across. Campbell's in offside. Or not, it looked like offside. Harris, the shot, scores! Or not, that looked to have gone under the bar. But it hits the crossbar and out. From my angle, definitely looked like it went under the bar. But Moncton High somehow stays off the boards. Webb cutting in his own end. Waits, moves through a couple. Will fake the dump in. It's still in his feet. He has pressure there from Michaud. Going behind the net. Gillis is going to put pressure on Badal. Badal flipped high, and this one will most definitely go for icing, it looks like. And we are definitely going to have a look at that Campbell Harris shot. It was a howitzer that went to what looked like the top shelf, and it goes bar down and out. And some confusion off the face-off here. The Condors travel here from Quebec, their first game. There's Woods with a shot. One-timer across for Warner. It was deflected, almost went in. Cleared out by the Condors, and it looks like we'll have another icing. Or not. It looked like they had delayed the icing, but called it off in the last moment. Easton Woods through the zone. Gets through a couple. Banfield trying to work his way in. Paquette finding the loose puck. It's Warner turning it across and trying to throw it for Ethan Manderson. Through the legs of Banfield, the puck goes back for Warner. Onto the tape of almost getting to Manderson. Shot back out in the middle, just playing a bit of catch here in the center. Nice moves displayed by Paquette entering the zone. Alexis Paquette, the shot! And a good glove save. Sauk does have it as he shows off the puck. A nice save, Elias Sauk. That one's headed to the top corner, but Sauk smothers it.
So far, Saint-Jean has had some just a few looks, but the few looks they've had have been some very high-risk shots right at the Moncton High net.
And similar to Moncton High, they've had chances from far out. No one on the board yet. Beal working in. Dangle doesn't work as well as he planned. There's Byron. He's pressured up along the boards. Brandon Warner coming in to apply more physicality. We got a net guard hanging loose off of Kerrigan. Stepping in, Andrews, Kerrigan. The shot save is made by Sauk, and the rebound is caromed out into the corner. Harris, far corner, shot up. This one looks like it will go for icing. It looked like number 99, Jacob Kerrigan, looked like he needed to adjust his net guard mid-play. Definitely stricter on those rules.
Saint-Jean-Eudes really starting to turn up the pressure with a lot more shots coming in the last few minutes. The pendulum of momentum really swinging into their favor as we enter the late stages of the opening frame of action.
Off the face-off. Shooting this one out here. Went off a tape, so no icing. First one back there, Brideau. Dimitri Brideau coming to rest behind his net. Looks to see Rouet, but continues to skate out of his zone. accelerating through his own zone. It's banked off the wall. Here's Harris pinching from the defense. Harris stepping in. Here's a shot, and the save is made by Brideau. He's going to handle this one easily. The face-off to the left of the Condors netminder. Warner across, misplayed puck by Woods. He's luckily going to be able to keep this one in. That would have been incredibly dangerous. Speaking about dangerous, that was a dangerous hit by Goulet that goes uncalled. Warner from the blue line, his shot's blocked, pinches, brings it back in. Warner, backdoor, Dangle, the shot, and he just zings it through the crease. Warner back into the net, deflected, and that one more dangerous than you would expect for a backhander coming from the blue line. There's Goulet and Gillis roughing up the opposition. Warner to the shot, it's deflected up high into the netting.
Well, in terms of physicality, it's just been Moncton High. I mean, Joey Goulet pasting 3 Condors into the boards in just this shift.
And we've both seen some Moncton High games in our days. Joey Goulet, he's known for his physicality, so expect to see more later. That's an interesting tape job from the centerman there. Looked to have been Michaud. This one just gets outside the zone. Walking back. Condors couldn't quite get possession. This one's knocked up against the boards. Webb trying to move through the zone. Blocked. Maltus had come up for a hit. Manfield moving back. Maltus deflected off his stick. There's a stick lost, but here's Maltus shooting, and the save is made by Morneau. The Condors, they're moving back the other way. With speed coming up there was Bedal. Harris leaving a pass off. Could have been dangerous. LeBlanc will shoot this one up. It's Webb sliding down. There's a pass across. There's Maltus going up for a hit, but hits himself into the bench. Harris working his way in, could be a one-on-one. A Condors defense going down. Harris cutting in, still in possession, tries a shot, and couldn't quite get the shot off as there was 3 Condors applying some heavy pressure. Michaud moving this one across. Sent high in the air. Going to be left off, a little give and go. Bringing it back the other way. There was Guimond. There's the shot on the blocker save. Brandon Warner finds the puck in the middle. Will dump it in. That's a dump and chase. Rouet in his own end. Will rim it around Belanger. He's hit by Beal, who takes a stumble himself. Guimond trying to get this one out. Tyler Warner unable to defend his man. Andrews breaks in, but can't get by the second Purple Knights defender. Down the ice it'll go for delayed icing, and it will indeed be an icing against the Moncton High School Purple Knights. Around the league, the Vedettes have beaten the St. John's Ravenscourt Eagles 5-1. Collège de Lévis took down the Mavericks 3-2. This game still at 0. Les Olympiens de l'Odyssée are up on the sheet as of CPA 1-0 in the first. And Les Matarats are up 3-1 on the Eagles in the first period. And les Cavaliers de Gabriel Roy and Central Kings are deadlocked at 0. And so is this game. Belanger moving it back, send it cross ice to the middle. Deflected in by Blouin. There's Murphy. He's going to get beaten out. Condors in possession. Backdoor the pass. And ever so close to getting a free backdoor shot. There's Gillis. Pass up for Goulet. He walks in and fires, but he's in offside. So as we get down to the last 2 minutes, this game's still deadlocked at 0. Face off towards the Saint-Jean-Eudes bench. Questionable offside. There's Sylvain off the wall, almost gloved down. Kick by Harris, potential 2-on-1 back the other way. In out of nowhere, Braden Daigle lifts and pickpockets his man on the back check. Still with it along the boards. He puts that up to the blue line by accident. Brideau dumping it in behind the net. Woods will rim it around. Here's Goulet. Mishandles it to the middle. Keating the shot, and that one's deflected into the corner. Trying to move towards the net. Rouet behind the net. Daigle being shoved by Rouet and still has possession. Goulet through center, has Gillis with him. Goulet cutting across, winning the battle. Might see Gillis in front and couldn't quite hit his target. Woods A little backhand chip to keep it at the line. Goulet holding in the line. A huge hit, Joey Goulet. Dimitri Brito didn't expect it and gets run over by Joey Goulet. Around the boards, Brito shoots this one out. Tyler Warner off the bench. Back four for Moncton High. Warner shooting this one up. Springs Gillis and tried to put it to the middle. Ryan Gillis with 2 goals in the first game against Riverview High that Moncton played. And there's Michaud in the corner, throwing it in front. That one hovers the blue paint. LeBlanc up for Gillis. Banked up against the boards. This will be caught by Bedal. Across Vesna. Moving it in for Michaud. Tyler Warner against the boards. Moves his way behind his net and shoots it all the way down. Manderson going to try to be at the icing and won't. 40 seconds and some still to go. Moncton High starting off their season 1-1 in the Eastern Conference League. And the Condors, they are 2-8 to start off their season over in Quebec. And both teams clash here at the Dieppe Uniplex. It's Brandon Lane and Diego Aragon on the call for this game and for all games here at the Dieppe Uniplex. Face-offs won by Moncton High. Tyler Warner hits the brakes, creates some separation. On the boards it'll go. Loose puck deep from Banfield. He sauces one over from Anderson, who whacks it out of the air. Dump in, first one there, Julian Webb. Waits, he's bumped off the puck. There's Bedal. Bedal to the blue line, Warner. The shot deflected by Manderson and over the net. Here's Webb out in front, Manderson looking for it, still loose. And it finds its way over into the corner. Brito, excuse me, that was Bedal behind his net. This one flipped out of play. 7.1 to go in period 1. Our game is currently, as we started, it's scoreless. And it looks like we have a Condors penalty. It's Noah Michaud that heads to the box. Weren't given a clear exact signal, but it's a bench minor for might be too many men. It's 7 seconds of the first. Moncton High a power play. Warner from the blue line. The shot is saved by Michaud. As we get down to the last couple seconds, so it looks like we're going to end up having a scoreless first period. Quickly off the draw, Moncton High trying to get a shot. They won't. So 1:53 on the Moncton High power play when we return for the second period. It's the 50th annual Dieppe Classic here on MST.
Corner penalty, bench minor penalty. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike egg, served by number 80, Noah Michaud. That's Condors bench minor penalty, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, served by number 80, Michaud, at 14:53.
Here we are for the return of the second. And just getting the announcement of the call of the Condors. It was a bench minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. So clearly one mouth on the Condors bench louder than the others. And it's going to be served by number 80, Noah Michaud.
So far, the coaching staff of Saint-Jean-Eudes not happy with some of the missed calls. We've seen some high hits from the Moncton High players on the Condors. Clearly, they want a call.
And Moncton High will continue this physicality. Here's Harris. The shot pad save is made by Mulno. What a beautiful chance for Moncton High. Gillis holding it at the line. Harris, ice wide, one-timer. Warner to the shot, and that was blocked. Daigle behind the net, moves it to the side of the net. It's backhanded, blocked by Tyler Warner. Harris waits, and there is going to be a penalty in front of the net. Where the Condors coaches are going to get what they want. And it's no surprise that it's that man right there, Joey Goulet. Won't be the first, won't be the last time he'll take a penalty here. We'll see if we can catch it. It's behind the play. Look in front of the net there, 21, and just absolutely lays into a guy. So it's going to be a 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 14.
Lots of ice for both teams to work with here, as each team looking to break the deadlock in the middle frame of action.
Sylvain, the shot deflected, the rebound's right there. What a 2 saves made by Sock. Back to the line.
Nice
the shot ends up being a pass. Sylvain shoots.
2 minutes for
And
interference.
just gets by Woods. Another save made by Elias Sock.
Nice penalty
Just
to number
under a
21
minute to
Goulet.
go
2 minutes for interference to 14.
on the 4-on-4. So it will be Joey Goulet off for interference. And those are the 2 clutch saves made by Sock just moments ago. Condors win the face-off. Bedal hovers the line. He tries a shot. Was looking for a deflection there from Paquette. Ends up on the opposite side. Gillis being shoved. Puck squeaks loose in the middle. Harris going to take some time. Lay a nice dish off for Gillis. Ryan Gillis into the zone. Behind the net, it's Bedal. Nicolas Bedal comes out with steam, and he's almost destroyed by Gillis right in front of the Moncton High bench. Easton Woods retreats with it for the Purple Knights. Deflected by Harrison into the zone. First one there for the Condors. It's Vesna. Dropping this one off. Bedal skates around with it before sending it cross ice right to the tape of Alexis Paquette. Paquette walking in. Here's the shot, and it just misses wide of the net. Had some power behind it. And it would have been a very dangerous shot if this one had gone on net. There's Goulet out of the box. It's another Condors power play for a limited time. And it's cleared in by Woods. And trying to chop the puck, and there's a Condor that's destroyed behind the play. And that's how the Purple Knights bench is going to get fired up into this one. Rindle on the boards, right for LeBlanc off the bench. Unable to get possession, there's Bedard. Avery going up for a hit. Taken by the Condors. Moved across. Pass intended over for Blouin. And barely got possession. Biran, the shot. The net is off. This one's going to be whistled down. So Joey Goulet still remains in the box. There's a little bit more time. We're getting to the midway stages of period 2. Still tied at 0 we are. Winning the face-off, it's Warner. Trying to clear, fans on it. This one will stay in the zone at the ringette line. Andrews, the shot, the save, and the rebound. It's still loose in the front. Where is it? The net's knocked off once again. Someone has dropped their net guard on the ice. And here's the hit earlier. It's going to be Avery on, I believe that to be Nicolas Bedal. Face-off one, Condors. Win it back. They try to move through the zone here. It's kicked in the feet of Guimont. Harris waiting, and we'll send that one across. Cleared back in by Dubé. Harris, Woods on the opposite side. Woods to the middle. Webb We'll flip this one in the zone. Chasing on it there, Alexis Dubé. He's hit against the board, turning around. Brido Harris keeping the line. Pass across. Manderson, one-timer attempt and couldn't get a stick on it. Webb, sharp angle, the shot, and Moreno dives to make the save. Harris, the shot, scores! Campbell Harris from the blue line, and we have no goal. We're gonna have to see a replay of that. Unsure what happened in front of the net. Moreno is down, but it looks like he dove on his own accord. And Harris finds the empty net. We're gonna give another chance for the refs to see it here at the Uniplex. And I'm not too sure why this is called no goal. Moreno dives on his own accord, and then a Moncton High player falls on top of him. And is Webb gonna get penalized for this?
From up here, it seems like the refs are probably going to go with a goalie interference call, which is quite confusing here, as a chaotic series of events will lead to a Condors power play.
We're going to look at this again. So there's Moreno, who dives to make the save. It's a great save. And it looks like Webb accidentally falls on him because he dove.
Julian Webb, 2 minutes for goaltender interference at 3:25.
That was right, goaltender interference.
That's nice penalty to number 22.
And the Moncton High coaches and players, they're not going to be happy with that, and I see why.
That's also no goal due to goaltender interference.
The Condors are going to get a power play out of this. Condors win the draw. It's Bedall. Moving it across, sharp angle shots, and it's deflected just wide. Rimmed around, and that net is off. Make it 3 times so far this game. There's Easton Woods still barking after the whistle. And we have some yelling from the Moncton High side. They want goalie interference.
We've seen some Saint-Jean-Eudes players really not happy with the net coming off. Some of them asking for a penalty for delay of game.
And I don't really know if you can penalize that in this game. It's been happening even yesterday as well. The Uniplex might have to invest in new net pegs for this tournament.
Pretty common pattern we've seen in the first 2 days of action here. The net being kicked off at least once or twice every single game.
And for Moncton High, luckily this one's going to go outside the zone. Here's the face-off, won by the Condors. Visna moved across and shot in. This one's going to be by Woods. He's now going to get it in the far corner. And cleared all the way down the ice. Brandon Warner chasing. He's on the tail of Bedall. Nicolas Bedall skating through, approaching rapidly is Brandon Warner. Bedall with it, cuts to the middle. Beautiful pass, Cardigan the shot, and that one's blocked. Keating. Ringette line. Moves up high. Blue line, Keating still with it. We got a penalty and another one coming to Moncton High. Or excuse me, it looks like this one's going to go to the Condors. And every time this game, when one penalty comes, another one comes right away. A team has yet to fulfill a full penalty, or a full power play, excuse me. Watch in front of the net somewhere here. I don't know if we'll get this one in the replay.
This has been by far so far one of the most aggressive games so far, with a bunch of penalty minutes and some massive hits coming along, and it's only the second period.
And Moncton High looking to get on the board here on the 4-on-4. Blocked in. Tyler Warren at the line, walking in. The shot is just off the post. That's 2 for Moncton High so far this game. Daigle waits, looks up high for Warner. Warner, softish off for LeBlanc, the pass in for Gillis. There's Warner diving to save it. Gillis the shot, glove down by Mono. He'll get him a bit. He'll show the crowd he's got the puck, and we'll have a whistle.
Hockey, a game of inches. The second time Moncton High has ringed one off the post, just mere inches away from a possible 2-0 lead.
And Moncton High could very well be up 2-0 right now. The shot from Harris in the first period that clanged off the crossbar and out. And that goal called goalie interference. Well, this game could be any way right now. 10.5 to go in the second. There's LeBlanc getting tied up behind the net. The puck is free. LeBlanc tied it with Boucher. And there's the tall Tyler Warner to bring it out. Tyler Warner with speed going in with Brandon Warner. Cutting in. He'll find it in the corner. Warner, Avery up top. Here's the shot. That one's going to miss by a little bit. And on a 4-on-4, it's hard to place a lot of players in front of the net. Going to really try to space out the game. There's a bump given. Warner taps it behind. Avery, he's going to ice it in. Just 5 seconds left to go on the Julian Webb goalie interference call. And penalty's now expired, so Moncton High will have a limited power play. But here, shorthanded, walking in. Cardigan couldn't quite get a shot off. He's bumped by Webb. Cardigan poked loose by Woods. This one's cleared around the board. Sylvain in the shot, blocked by Harris. He's going up with steam back the other way. Harris and Goulet. Harris cutting by one. He gets the shot off, but that one he couldn't get much of. Had 2 sticks tying him up, so down the ice it'll go. Warner going in with Blouin. The race is won by Warner as he throws it against the boards. Daigle throwing it back behind his net. Good penalty kill by the Condors here. Harris comes to rest. Pass off for Daigle. Just 3 seconds left until Rouette leaves the box. And there we go. Penalty now over. 5-on-5. Goulet laying it behind him. Kept in by Harris. He's going to try a shot, but Rouette out of the box out of nowhere is able to upend him. Walking back in. Andrews going in with Warner against the boards. They both crash in. And now the puck is pinned. It's under the feet of Andrews. Brought out by the Condors, but poke checked loose. Here's Goulet. He'll find the open puck. Try to reverse a man as he gets out of the zone. Has the stick slashed out of his hands and then runs over a man. Joey Goulet once more. There's the shot. Glove down by Elias Sock. And the Condors now getting more and more familiar to Joey Goulet. Watch him here on Rouette. Or excuse me, not Rouette. Face off in the Condors zone. Sharp angle shot, the save. Sock pokes it out to the blue line. The shot blocked by Webb. Although going wide anyway, there's Harris. He puts this one on the line, cleared back in by the Condors. Little pass in the middle, no one there except for Julian Webb. He'll try to move this up to Manderson, trying to headman the puck, but a hard pass to make. 2-on-2, back the other way. Here's the shot, it's deflected out wide. To the blue line, Bedal. Cleared down, it's Webb. He's in a battle with Michaud as Ethan Manderson now bringing this one out, trying to not get his stick lifted. He'll go all the way down the ice, not for icing, however. Vizna waiting behind his net, trying to lay a soft pass off. Here's Webb and the far hash marks, trying to leave that one down for Manderson. Bedal putting it behind him. Webb now with a bit of time, back for Manderson. Brought up by the Condors. Or they're still in their zone. That's a dangerous pass off the foot, I believe. That was Nicolas Bedal and right to the net. Manderson finding this one in open ice. Attempted open ice hit. Goes back the other way. Michaud drop pass. Bedal to the net. Blocker save made. Manderson gets his stick tied up. Goes behind him now. Parker LeBlanc affiliating for tonight's matchup. Will clear this one out to center. Bedal across the red line. Nicolas Bedal in. Waits, gets by LeBlanc, barely with possession, tried to move that across, and a good extension of the stick by Harris. Warner to the middle, Alex Beal on a breakaway. He's being approached rapidly. Beal, the shot scores! And that one's gonna count for Moncton High. Alex Beal on the board, it's 1-0.
Alex Beal with a beautiful breakaway goal, breaking the deadlock here as Moncton High takes the 1-0 lead.
And it's a beautiful feed from Brandon Warner, and he is pretty tall. Some would say 6'7". And there's Alex Beal on a breakaway. He's going to make no mistake and bury that. So make it a 1-0 Purple Knights lead. So Beal gets his first of the season. It comes in a tournament game. It's flipped high here for Boucher. Boucher coming in on defense. There's the shot, the save, and the rebound was right out. Loose looking for it there was Paquette. It was poked away by the Purple Knights defense. Goulet
at number 8, Parker
leads the rush. A big reverse hit Joey
Last night's
Goulet
first goal scored
again.
by 14,
He's had about
Alex
6 or
Fields,
7
by
huge
6,
hits so
Brandon
far this
Warner,
game.
And number 8, Parker LeBlanc at 8:17.
Now shot out to center. Owen Murphy retreats for it. We'll get it back to the Condors defense. Sylvain, the little flip, caught down by Paquette, trying to get by Murphy. Does. Paquette along the left, pass, backdoor, and couldn't quite get it off. Paquette with it again. Bounces out in front, Paquette the backhand, and Sock is right there to cover the net. Sylvain, blue line, banked off the board, down low, Paquette. Little backhander, tried to put that one over for Keating. Keating in a battle, Paquette waits, turns, Daigle, sliding. Tyler Warner across the boards. Goulet, first one there. He's going to lay the body again. And a saucer pass. Here's Gillis. One-on-one. He cuts Gillis. The shot, and the save is made by Morneau. And a bit of a slash given out in front.
Saint-Jean-Eudes is spreading out a little too much as those quick passes by Moncton High are really tearing them apart. One of those chances even got Moncton High a goal.
Exactly. Usually want to spread the game out, but they're taking it to a bit of an extreme. Still haven't had the goal come in game sheet. But here it is. It's Beal from Brandon Warner and LeBlanc at 6:43 of the second period. Deep in the near corner of the Condor zone. They escape with a beautiful zone exit. Across, it's Rouet. Pass in the middle. Here's the shot from Kerrigan that misses the net. Rindle on the boards. There's a big hit by the Condors. Moncton High will be able to clear. Avery chipping it in. Kerrigan. Rim across the boards. Warner just off the bench to keep it in. Or that's Manderson, excuse me. Here's the shot that just misses the net. Along the boards it'll go. Condors leaving the zone. Stepping up here. Rouet. Drop pass. Andrews wide open. The shot. Save and denied by Elias Sock. Along the boards, Banfield out of his reach. Kept in at the line. Bélanger. He shoots, and that's elevated over the cage. Manderson flipped high and out of play, almost in the penalty box.
Saint-Jean-Eudes very hungry for that game-tying goal. A pretty chaotic sequence of events with some pretty dangerous looks on net.
And they're bound to get one here sooner or later. As of recent, been swarming the Moncton High end. But here they'll win the draw. LeBlanc tried to move that to Tyler Warner. That one got by him. There's Maltus getting in a bit of a collision. They move out in front. The shot, and the save is made once more. Keeping it in there, Blouin. D-to-D pass, walking in. There's the shot. Attempted deflection. It's Tyler Warner that corrals it behind the net. Backhand, pinching from the blue line. Badal, the shot, scores! Elias Sock, he's going to want to have that one back. The Condors tie it up at 1. Nicolas Bedal from the blue line. It deflects off a Purple Knights defenseman. It looks like that's Parker LeBlanc, and into the net. An unfortunate bounce from Moncton High.
And that's what happens when you sustain pressure in the zone of the opposing team. Sooner or later, it's going to go in.
And I've seen a few bit of goals
Condors
so far.
first goal scored by number 57, Nicholas Bedard.
Getting a bit lucky with
At
those
11 minutes, 3
bounces.
seconds
And Goulet
unassisted.
enters the zone, runs over a man, and there's another hit along
That's
the
Condors
boards.
first
Harris
goal scored by number
at the line.
57,
Waits,
Bedard. At
moves
11:03,
across, Daigle,
unassisted.
Woods, shot deflected by Gillis, although that one didn't have much on it. A 1-1 hockey game going down to the later stage of the second. This one shot in by Blouin will be covered.
So far, Joey Goulet, in one sequence of events, puts a Condor on his head and then crushes another one on the boards. I mean, if there's a competition for hit of the tournament, he'd win it.
No doubt in my mind. And they haven't even played their full 3 games yet. Stick around for tonight. Moncton High will be back here. Whoa, that one getting close to the net. Moncton High will be back here. We'll see Joey Goulet and the Purple Knights back in action tonight against St. John's. Beat off on the blue line. That one's over the net. The Condors absolutely buzzing in the Moncton High end right now. Beat off. Behind the net for Keating. He's pushed against the boards by Warner and Avery, and there's another Condor in to help. Warner trying to go down. He does, and the shot goes to the side of the net. Bit of a mix-up there. Harris, it's behind him. Loses possession. Condors with the puck. Pass across. Bélanger waits and fires. Blocked and off a shin pad, and outside the blue line it will go.
Some fast and furious hockey here in the last minutes of the second period as bodies go flying.
And expect this to continue out in the third. Moncton High wishing this period could end already. Condors trying to move it out. A bit of a bump given there. Walking the line here, it's Kerrigan. That pass right off the ankle of Brandon Warner. He's hurt and it goes off the glass and outside the zone. Brandon Warner, he needs to get off and go for a change. He's limping on his left leg. And there he is. He's going to go for a change. Condors bring it back in the other way. Rouet walking in. The shot and the save by Sock. It's behind him, but it stays outside the net, pushing and shoving in front of the net. And almost a bad mix-up by the Moncton High goaltender. There's the shot. It's under his pad somewhere. And there's 87 crashing the net, as you're supposed to do. Alexis Paquet making no mistake to charge straight to the front of the net. Moncton High with the draw win. They'll escape the zone. Manderson tried to move that to Banfield. Stick lifted. It's blue angle in the other way. Behind the net, Tyler Warner has tried to move that over to Parker LeBlanc. LeBlanc getting in a bit of a mix-up with someone. There's Warner laying a hit on the boards. Sticks drop. And Manderson will find the open puck. Get it outside the zone. Ethan Manderson might have a little bit of a rush here. And coming back in defense, Alexis Vezina. Running around the boards, Tyler Warner coming to pinch. Ends up centering it, but will keep it in the zone for the moment. Condors back the other way. The shot is gloved down by that man right there, Elias Sock.
The Saint-Jean-Eudes is doing a fantastic job at just getting pucks on net. As soon as they get it, they get their look and they take a shot. No room for dangles. Shot after shot bombarding Elias Sock.
And that's how they got their first goal. They just put one to the net. Took a lucky bounce off a Permalites defenseman in the net. Sylvain, the shot off a body, the backhand. Save is made. But there was a high stick, so it looked like it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Just a minute away from the flood, and if you're Moncton High, you really want to stay out of your own zone as pressure just keeps mounting.
For Moncton High, the goal right now is just to go into the second period. Tied at 1. They walk in. There's a shot turned away by Elias Sock. Gillis finding it in the corner. Trying to pass someone out. Has a stick lifted. Now in a tie-up. Harris finds the loose puck. Last minute. He's out of the zone. Harris up the far side. Across the blue line he'll go. Moving by Sylvain. Harris and Sylvain behind the net. Sylvain rimmed across. There's Gillis going up for a bump. Successfully does. Condors attempt to leave the zone. Here's Harris trying to turn around with it, but the loose puck goes right to Rouet. Out of the middle. Sylvain gets bumped there. Bit of a miscommunication. There's Rouet and Daigle walking in at the blue line. We have, looks to be an injured Condor, although he'll get off himself. It looks to be Sylvain. Or could be 59, could be Alexis Dubé. Although it looks like someone's just stinging. Coming down in the last 30 seconds of the second, then we'll have a flood soon after. Face-off won by the Purple Knights. It's Warner that clears. Pass across from Sylvain. Moving up here is Harris. Harris might have a rush. Harris dangles in the middle. What a move. Harris, the shot, scores! Oh my, Campbell Harris with the speed and the loose puck dig right through the legs with 17.6 to go. And there he gives the goal call. That one's going to count for him. So Moncton High up 2-1.
Absolute highlight reel goal there. Getting past two Condors and making the goalie look silly.
And Morneau goes out for a poke check. Harris pulls it behind him and lifts it into the wide open cage. So 2-1 Moncton High lead.
Knight's second goal scored by number 17, Campbell Harris at 14:49. That's Knight's second goal scored by number 17, Harris at 14:49.
There's Woods that goes down. Easton Woods is hurt at the Moncton High blue line. Blow the whistle. And there's Beal that enters the zone. Woods is still down. He's at the Moncton High blue line. Shoves being given by Brandon Warner.
Easton Woods is still hurt here. Let's hope he's okay.
Sock going to check on him there. And Woods is still yet to move. Moncton High players go attend.
Some words being exchanged between the two coaches here. Emotion starting to spark up as both benches are clearly not happy with each other. What's happening on the ice spilling towards the benches.
And look at that. New coach Jack Perry getting into it with the Condors. And Woods getting up here. He's on to a knee.
And I'll tell you what, this game is not looking pretty as both coaches starting to really turn up the anger here.
Oh, look at Jack Perry on the bench getting into it with the backup goalie.
Even the refs trying to keep the peace here as both benches really not having it.
I can't tell if this is Jack Perry or Patrick Roy behind the bench right now.
Easton Woods gets up. It's good to see him moving and skating on his own.
Luckily that panel separating both benches, pretty solid, can't be pushed. So Woods will head back to the bench. We'll take a break for the second period. It's the Purple Knights and the Condors here at the Uniplex. Braden Elaine Digawaragon from the Dieppe Uniplex. LJR moving up the neutral end. Cutting in wide is Landry. Moving behind Arcade, throwing it out in front, the shot, they score! That's 19 in the corner. Mia LeBlanc digging it out. The shot is aimed. Peck skating in with the slap shot. The save is made by LeBlanc. It's Godet. Godet still with it. Moves her way to the front. It's loose out in the blue paint. They still whack at it. He's going to take a tumble there at center. Beal in the middle. He gets hit again. Harris waits, goes to Warner, back across Daigle. He has a shot. It's saved by the glove up and around. Goulet and Sylvain up in a puck battle. There's Goulet laying up. The Moncton High will be shorthanded for 15 seconds. Covering the line. Paquette. Pass across. Here's the shot. It's in the glove of a center for Avery. Along the wall by Sylvain. Paquette skating in to the middle. The deflection save made by Sock. Was in offside. Or not. It looked like offside. Harris the shot scores. Displayed by Paquette entering the zone. Alexis Paquette the shot. And a good glove physicality. We got a net guard hanging loose. Off of Kerrigan. Stepping in. Andrews Kerrigan. The shot save is made by Stockley. Going to be able to keep this one in. That would have been incredibly dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, that was a there's a stick loss, but here's Malthus shooting, and the save is made. Going to be left off a little give and go. Bringing it back the other way. There was Guimond. There's the shot on the blocker save. Couldn't quite hit his target. Woods, a little backhand chip to keep it at the line. Goulet holding in the line. 7 seconds of the first. Moncton High power play. Warner in the blue line. The shot is saved by. Moncton High will continue this physicality. Here's Harris. The shot pad save is made. Blocked. Daigle behind the net. Moves to the side of the net. It's backhanded. Blocked by Tyler Warner. Harris waits, and there.
Frame of action.
Sylvain. The shot deflected. The rebound's right there. 1-2 save. And it's cleared in by Woods. And trying to chop the puck, and there's a con. Lido Harris keeping the line. Pass across Manderson, one-timer attempt, and couldn't get a stick on it. Webb, sharp angle, the shot, and Moto get a stick on it. Webb, sharp angle, the shot, and Moto dives, make the save. Harris, the shot, score! Ring at line. Moves up high. Blue line, Keating still with it. We got a Moncton High looking to get on the board here on the 4-on-4. Blocked in. Tyler Warren at the line, walking in. The shot is just off the post. Here's Goulet. He'll find the open puck, try to reverse a man as he gets out of the zone, has the stick slashed out of his hands, and then runs out. Extension of the stick by Harris. Warner to the middle. Alex Beal on a breakaway. He's being approached rapidly. Beal, the shot, score! Boucher coming in on defense. There's the shot, the save, and the rebound was right out. Loose looking for it. There was Paquette. It was poked away by the Purple Knights defense. Goulet
At number 8, Parker
leads the rush. A big reverse hit off. Paquette with it again. Bounces out in front. Paquette the backhand. And sock to the net. Brindle on the boards. There's a big hit by the Ruet. Drop pass. Andrews wide open. The shot. Save and denied. Tyler Warren. That one got by him. There's Malthus. Getting in a bit of a collision. They move out in front. The shot and the save is made. Warner that corrals it behind the net. Backhand pinching the blue line. Vidal, the shot, score! Avery, and there's another Condor in to help. Warner trying to go down. He does, and the shot goes to the bring it back in the other way. Rouet walking in. The shot and the save by Sock. It's behind him. But will keep it in the zone for the moment. Condor is back the other way. The shot is gloved down. Up here is Harris. Harris might have a rush. Harris dangles in the middle. What a move. Harris, the shot, score! It's Godet. Godet still with it. Moves her way to the front. It's loose out in the blue paint. They still whack at it. He's going to take a tumble there at center. Beal in the middle. He gets hit again, but Harris waits, goes to Warner, back across Daigle. He has a shot. It's saved by the glove up around. Goulet and Sylvain up in a puck battle. There's Goulet laying up. The Moncton High will be shorthanded for 15 seconds. Hovering the line. Paquette. Pass across. Here's the shot. It's in the glove of a center for Avery. Along the wall by Sylvain. Paquette skating in to the middle. The deflection save made by Sock. Pulled in offside. Or not. It looked like offside. Harris the shot scores. Displayed by Paquette entering the zone. Alexis Paquette the shot. And a good glove physicality. We got a net guard hanging loose. Off of Kerrigan, stepping in, Andrews, Kerrigan, the shot save is made by Stickley and be able to keep this one in. That would have been incredibly dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, that was a stick loss, but here's Malthus shooting, and the save is made. It's gonna be left off a little give and go. Bringing it back the other way, there was Guimond, there's the shot on the blocker, save. Couldn't quite hit his target. Woods, a little backhand shift, keeping it at the line. Goulet holding in the line, 7 seconds of the first. Moncton High power play. Warner from the blue line. The shot is saved by Moncton High will continue this physicality. Here's Harris. The shot pad save is made. Blocked. Daigle behind the net. Moves it to the side of the net. It's backhanded. Blocked by Tyler Warner. Harris waits, and there.
Frame of action.
The shot deflected. The rebound's right there. What a two save. And it's cleared in by Woods. Trying to chop the puck, and there's a con. Lido Harris keeping the line. Pass across Manderson, one-timer attempt, and couldn't get a stick on it. Webb, sharp angle, the shot, and Moto get a stick on it. Webb, sharp angle, the shot, and Moto dives to make the save. Harris, the shot, score! Ring at line. Moves up high. Blue line, Keating still with it. We got a Moncton High looking to get on the board here on the 4-on-4. Blocked in. Tyler Warner at the line, walking in. The shot is just off the post. Here's Goulet. He'll find the open puck, try to reverse a man as he gets out of the zone, has the stick slashed out of his hands, and then runs out. Extension of the stick by Harris. Warner to the middle. Alex Beal on a breakaway. He's being approached rapidly. Beal, the shot, score! Boucher coming in on defense. There's the shot, the save, and the rebound was right up. Loose looking for it. There was Paquette. It was poked away by the Purple Knights defense. Goulet
At number 8, Parker
leads the rush. A big reverse hit off. Paquette with it again. Bounces out in front. Paquette the backhand. And Sock for that. Brindle them on the boards. There's a big hit by the Ruet. Drop pass. Andrews wide open. The shot, save and denied. Tyler Warner, that one got by him there. Malthus in a bit of a collision. They move out in front. The shot and the save is made. Warner that corrals it behind the net. Backhand pitching from the blue line. But the shot score. Avery, and there's another Condor in to help. Warner trying to go down. He does, and the shot goes to the bring it back in the other way. Houet walking in. The shot and the save by Sock. It's behind him. But will keep it in the zone for the moment. Condor is back the other way. The shot is gloved down. Moving up here is Harris. Harris might have a rush. Harris dangles in the middle. What a move. Harris, the shot, score! And as we get set for the third period here, both teams just coming out right now, waiting on their respective benches.
This game, in just the second day of the tournament, is proving to be one of the nastiest ones, as the coaches at the end of last period exchanged some pretty choice words. We even have the principal of Moncton High School, Mr. Farrell, in attendance here, supporting his school.
Wonder how he's feeling after that last period. Don't be surprised if we see not only the players, but the coaches getting into it later.
Yeah.
Still got a whole period of hockey to go.
Fully agree with you on that one. I mean, if that was only 2 periods, and the final one, as the pressure really starts mounting here, as both teams search for a victory. Moncton High 0-1, Saint-Jean-Eudes 0-0, trying to open up their tournament with a win as they try to get 2 goals here.
As there's a look at some of the starting lineup. The 2 defensive units, Tyler Warner and Campbell Harris, they're going to start on the ice for Moncton High.
As we enter this third period, Brain, what do you think are going to be the keys for both squads here?
I think it's going to be mostly trying to draw penalties and then not taking a penalty immediately after. We have yet to see a full power play to where it wasn't followed up by another 2-minute penalty by the opposing team. We've had a lot of 4-on-4 action, but not yet a full 2 minutes.
For both teams, for Saint-Jean-Eudes especially, keep it simple. Kiss hockey, keep it simple. That's all you have to do. Keep it simple. Not only that, but don't stretch out as much as they were doing in the first 2 periods. The first 2 goals were stretch passes. They got caught too spread out, and the Moncton High School Purple Knights punished them. And for Moncton High, what they want to do is stay out of the box. The Saint-Jean-Eudes Condors have some very deadly shooters, and if you let them have their space, they will punish you.
And we got Elias Sock. He's hovering around the red line at center. The backup goalie for the Condors on the ice. We have a bit of a delay.
Rev's still nowhere to be seen.
Oh, that would explain. The officials taking their time. Getting an extra little break there. Looks like Easton Woods will not return to this game, as there he is in the white shirt. And we'll take a look at the Condors there. Getting some extra time for preparation.
As we enter this third period, I think the story of this game is just going to be that cooler heads will prevail. And here we go. Officials enter the ice here as we are set to begin this third and final frame of action.
Oh, here we go. We have our officials. Let's hope we don't see tempers flaring, because that'll lead to just penalties on top of penalties. So we have yet to see a huge conflict and fight so far this tournament. As there the benches Going to get loud and fired up here for the start of this third period.
Ryan Daggle to take the opening draw for the Moncton High School Purple Knights with Ryan Gillis and Alex Beal at his wings.
For the Condors, there's Rouet on the wing, Keating at center. And on the far side, it looks like that's Paquette. Here we go, face-off won by the Purple Knights, shot in by Daigle. It's Bélanger, leaving it behind him along the boards. It's Rouet now. Back to Bélanger, try to get that to Rouet. It's behind Daigle, didn't know exactly where it was. Nicolas Rouet, up the far boards. Walks into the zone, sends it by Harris. It's now behind the net. Goulet lays another huge hit behind the net.
Starting to lose count of all of these massive hits. The board's shaking every time he drills someone into them.
I think they're still shaking. It's Rouet behind the net. He's going to hit Webb and angle him out of the play. Gillis holding the line with his feet, not before Paquette is able to spin around. Walking in there is Rouet. Poke checked, Brandon Warner. Back for his twin brother Tyler. Tyler skating through, he's read perfectly, and now must throw away the puck. Drop pass at center, there's Brandon Warner going up for a hit, and the Purple Knights get the puck back. Through center, poked loose. This one's going to get by LeBlanc. Digging deep forward is Kerrigan. Going up to the line, sending it back down the other way is Vizna. Brandon Warner against the wall, trying to chip it out. First time fails, but the second time prevails. Vizna behind his net, hits the braces. He's being chased by Webb. Vizna still with possession here. Running through the blue line, Vizna. Shot in and clear, Tyler Warner. Waits. That goes behind the net, it goes up to the hash marks in the Moncton High zone here. It'll be rimmed around the opposite side. Shot in by Bedal. Hit on Tyler Warner. There's the shot. And Sock is able to cover, and we have a bit of a scrum in the front. There's Banfield. Brandon Warner.
Moncton High School Purple Knights clearly taking exception to number 99 getting into their crease after the whistle.
And it looks like that was also Andrews as well.
Well, you know, Brayden, never in our career of streaming hockey have we ever seen the number 99.
It's a rare number to see, especially for the high ones. Looks like it's not retired even through the NHL. But Jacob Kerrigan wears that number 99 proud. Along the boards it goes, chasing it, Michaud. At the line, shot down, it gets by Keating. Behind the net, Maltis chasing for it. Thrown out just on top of the crease. Manderson picks it up on the far side to the middle for Banfield. Banfield will flip it in.
Maltis sent tumbling. He looks pretty shaken up as he skates back to the Moncton High bench.
And there's a misplaced pass. Banfield able to go the other way. Headmans to Manderson. Tried to deflect that to Beal. He has one so far this game. Bélanger are on the board. Blocked in by Harris. Harris on the line. Going to try a shot. It's deflected on net. We have a penalty. It looks like it's against the Condors. Beal trying to go to the line. Flips it high. That'll work. And touched up by the Condors as, oh, here we go. Rough stuff after the whistle. Riddick Banfield. And he's no stranger to getting into conflicts.
Moncton High will try to stretch their lead to 2 goals here as they successfully draw a penalty. Oh, and never mind. Looks like we'll have a Moncton High School Purple Knight going to the bench, to the penalty box.
Banfield's going to the box. I wonder if these are going to even out.
From up here, it seems like they will most likely, both teams still have five skaters.
So what was going to be a Moncton High power play now will not be the case. And we'll take a look around the league. Riverview High is up 3-0 on the St. John's Ravenscourt Eagles. The Cavaliers de Gabriel Roy are up 1-0 on the Central Kings. Matthew Martin is up 6-2 on the Auburn Eagles. And the Cheetahs of CPA, they are up 4-2 on Odyssey. And that is all the current games live. And we got this one just getting underway in the third period. Moncton High's up by a score of 2-1. Daigle had tried to send that one out to Beal. In his own end, Belanger stopped by Gillis.
Condors penalty to number 55.
Shoot across the other side. There's a net guard, and we might have a penalty here against the Condors. There was a net guard off. Looks to be Vincent Boucher. The ref had been furiously pointing to his net guard, and that's going to be a penalty for an illegal equipment on the Condors.
Unfortunate call here for Saint-Jean-Eudes, as this is just not the time they would like to have a penalty.
Right there, the net guard's on the ice. You can see the ref pointing at Boucher to get to the bench. And he did not. So we're going to have a Purple Knights power play. Let's see if they can hold it for the full 2 minutes.
Seems the Saint-Jean-Eudes ref is having some words for the ref here as he tries to argue the call.
Regardless, Vincent Boucher, he's in the box for illegal equipment. That is a call I don't think I've ever seen. In doing high school hockey for 3 years, have never seen that. That is a first.
Well, it's pretty clear they take safety very seriously here at the Dieppe Classic.
Especially with all the recent cases of neck injuries. Net guards are mandatory, and in the case that it fell off, he must go to the bench, especially when being warned prior to touching the puck. Harris for Warner, across, Daigle, and that one goes in between his feet. Daigle tried to move that over to the high slot. It's cleared out. Saucer pass to Daigle. Tried to get that to Harris, bouncing puck. Daigle gets that off the tape of Keating. Behind the net, Campbell Harris. Waits, cuts to the middle. Here goes Campbell Harris across the blue line through center. Campbell Harris gets a stick up high. Definitely looked like he tried to sell the call to the point. Warner, the shot deflected on top of the net. It bounces back behind the net. Gillis to the line. Harris. Campbell Harris waits. Tyler Warner, top of the circle, plays catch with Campbell Harris. Here's the two D partners on the power play. Warner down to Daigle, try to throw that on front, back to Daigle. Fake the shot, goes behind the net to the side of the net. And unable to bang that one in. Shot to the line by Bedell, blocked in by Harris. Harris takes his time, gets some separation to the net, deflected off what looked to be the leg of Goulet and above the net. And there uses his body, his physical presence to get it to the line for Warner. Warner off the boards. Gillis behind the net being chased on by Vesna. Daigle poking at it. Gillis out in front. No one there. And out of the zone it'll go.
And on the topic of net guards, the 2026 Olympic Committee has made net guards mandatory at the ice hockey event.
In which they should rightfully. Tyler Warner going behind the net. His pass had tried to get that one over to, I believe that was Jackson Avery. Bit of a miscommunication on that. Not too much power play time remaining for Moncton High. And Banfield and Boucher going to leave the box soon, as well as Belanger, the next whistle. Warner skating it in. Power play now expired for Moncton High and cleared all the way down the ice, but this will be icing, I do believe. And it will be, as it's cleared down just after the penalty had expired. And a Moncton High penalty. It's a too many men. It's going to be served by Brandon Warner. Looked like at one point during a change, Moncton High had about 6 or 7 players on the ice. And it's going to be Brandon Warner that serves that. So another rare penalty coming up. The Condors, they're going to get their chance on the power play now.
The Condors here really searching for that game-tying goal with less than 10 minutes left in the game.
But keep in mind, it was also an icing, so it looks like they're going to place the face-off towards the Condors bench or the Purple Knights bench. They're going on a wild goose chase right now, but it looks like it will go just outside the Condors bench with 9:32 left to go in the third. Condors on a 2-minute power play for too many men being served by Brandon Warner. Alexis Belanger moved across, D to D. Working up here is Vizna. Poke check. There's Webb getting it out of the zone. Now move towards the timekeeper's box. There's Webb. Giving a bit of a poke check, and he stood up right next to the penalty box. Gets up quick. There's Goulet. He's able to shoot it out. And at the late offside, we have a chance for Webb. Fanned on a clearing attempt. Condors now get a chance to move it back. Pass to the middle. There's the shot. Just misses the net. The rebound is fanned on. And what great chances by the Condors, just unable to put one through. At the line, there's the shot. The save made by Sock. The rebound's in the slot. It's still loose. And did the net come off again?
The Saint-Jean-Eudes bench clearly not happy with the coach showing a gesture of being upset as the net is kicked off as the Saint-Jean-Eudes Condors look for that all-important tying goal.
They got just over a minute still to go. On the too many men call being served by Brandon Warner.
Moncton High desperately trying to clear the puck as the offense and pressure just starts piling on.
And here it's Belanger that keeps it in. Waits, goes to the line. There's the shot. Save is made by Sock. Put to the net again. Two Condors go down, and Beal will be able to send it down the length of the ice. It's Morneau that keeps it out. Biran, first one there. Biran. A pass across for Michaud. Michaud steps in. He's hit from behind by Beal, and the Purple Knights cleared the length of the ice, 200 feet.
Purple Knights get really lucky on that one. That, well, could have been a hit from behind call, but the ref will decide to not call it.
The Condors in search here of the tying goal. Guimard worked his way through, but cleared back by defenseman Tyler Warner. His brother Brandon appreciating that in the box. Warner trying to get the attention of his coach to know if he's going on the ice or not, with just 2 seconds left to go. And he is now out of the box. So 5-on-5, 7.5 to go in the third. Tyler Warner behind the net, miscommunication there, almost led to a turnover. There's Beal. To the center, Daigle, it ramped off his backhand. Sets across, back the other way by Vizna, to the middle here. Kerrigan, poke check by Webb, and he's going to be able to shoot it out of the zone. This one won't go for icing. It's back for Biran. Biran waits, goes behind his net, continues up the far boards. Shoots it into the middle, walking in. Rouet, the shot, and denied by Sock. It is Harris going hard against the boards. There's Daigle in there digging. Harris in there as well. It's loose in between the feet, and there goes Harris. Shooting it, and it'll just stay in the stick of Dubé. Harris to try to get that up for Avery. Held in the zone, but poked out by the stick of Webb, and the Purple Knights, they might need some changes here, and some will go do so as Sylvain throws it around for Dubé. Or that was Brideau, rather, that got it over for Rouet. This one flips high and out of play. Although the face-off will go back in the center.
Bonjour. Je veux dire un gros merci à nos commanditaires. DNA Swag, la ville de Dieppe, Monograms Unlimited, Choix 99,9. Moncton Plumbing, Jean Coutu, situé sur la rue Saint-Georges. Coastal Inns, Greco, l'Université de Moncton, Extreme Door Entrance Systems, Cancel Print, Nexus, Maritime Source Resorts, Max, K94.5. Merci.
And getting a word from the chairman, Dave Melanson, getting the sponsors in. Harris speeds through the neutral end. Cuts into the zone by Paquette. There's the shot that's turned away by Monod.
Captain Campbell Harris producing offense all game here, even responsible for one of the team's goals.
Has had many chances, uses his speed and his shot to create offense, and here he is again in his own end. Harris cutting through with some agility. Tries to send that up to Ethan Manderson. That one just slid under his stick. Now Biran off the bench. Rim around the boards for Rouet. Rouet waits and shoots. Tried to get a pass, but that one's going to be icing against the Condors. And they're going to try to get some changes off last minute. Ref's not going to allow that.
Well, if you're Moncton High, goals are going to need to really be important here as the -5 goal differential as of the first game is not really helping out their standings here.
The most important part, though, will be to get the 2 points and get that win. Daigle off the draw, falls down. Gillis around the boards. He'll look to see Beal. Beal to the line. Tyler Warner dropped his stick. Warner on net, just missed wide. Gillis being pinned in the corner, and so is Daigle. Rimmed around the net, beat on. He's stopped by Beal. Beal cutting in front, the shot, and the wraparound. Saved, and oh my, what a chance for Moncton High. A good fake out by Alex Beal. Warner barely keeping it at the line. Close call to the net. It's the side of the net, the rebound behind. Waiting, Daigle cutting back in front. The shot is just missed. 2 excellent opportunities for the Purple Knights. This one's just going to get out of the zone. Here's Warner across LeBlanc. Mishandles it a bit. Tyler Warner, he'll lead the rush. He'll enter the zone, takes a sharp angle shot. That'll be a pad save. Around the boards, LeBlanc, he'll try a shot, blocked, but it'll end up behind the net. At the side of the net, pass out in front, tried to hit Beal, went through a bunch of legs, ended up with Garrigan. Garrigan, what a move to get past LeBlanc on a breakaway. Over the net it goes. And he might have that one in his nightmares tonight, probably staying at the Wyndham Hotel just down the road from here. But Harris will flip it off the glass.
With a beautiful one-man effort, but just flicks it over the net.
Had tried to go top shelf, but just elevated it too much. We have a whistle here.
Earlier, a few minutes ago, the Moncton High bench really wanting a penalty call as a Moncton High player is knocked down nowhere near the puck in front of the net.
And just found out that whistle was shockingly that same net. We're going to get a counter going for the next center. Leaves it off for Webb. He's going to try a shot, and it's in the glove of Morneau. So just 3 minutes still to go in our third period. The Purple Knights are up by a score of 2-1 in what has been an amazing game. And don't want to jinx it now, but every game we've had on MST so far has ended in a 1-goal game. Start off with the Vedette and Cavalier and the Matador and Cavalier. Both of them were 1-goal games. And just this morning, the Cheetahs took down the Patriots by a score of 2-1. LeBlanc flips, Gillis in, passes across for Beal, and wasn't there. Daigle, Beal, up to Daigle. Daigle waits and cuts in, leaves off for Beal. Beal to the blue line. Warner has a wide open lane, he's gonna shoot, and it's deflected. Gillis taking a bit of a tumble, unable to pounce on that rebound. It's Michaud heading back the other way. Michaud walking in, what a move, but it's off the skate of LeBlanc.
Michaud could have opened up a breakaway, but decided to take it on himself.
And this one cleared in, Belanger to the net. Gillis going to get the bouncing puck out of the zone. He's going to be tripped up. Purple Knights power play. This is not the time for the Condors to take a penalty.
And the Condors bench throwing their hands up in anger as they believe the call was sold.
And Moncton High is going to take a timeout here. But we'll let you be the judge.
From what we've seen from up here in the commentator's booth, the stick definitely hit his skates, so.
And sometimes just hard to maintain balance, especially when turning around like Ryan Gillis was doing.
And this penalty really could not have come at a worse time for Saint-Jean-Eudes, as there's only 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third period.
And during this league timeout, we'll take you around the tournament. Riverview High still up 3-0 on St. John's. They are done 2 periods. Cavalier de Gabriel Roy are up 4-1 in the third period on the Central Kings Gators. Matthew Martin is currently up 9-2 on the Auburn Eagles. CPA and Odyssey, their boys teams. CPA's up 4-2, Moncton High's up 2-1 here. Les Commandeurs du Collège de Lévis, they have won 3-2 over the Mavericks. And Les Vedettes de Martin took down St. John's Ravenscourt by a score of 5-1 in the girls division.
The Dieppe Classic is one of the biggest tournaments in the nation. We have teams all the way from Manitoba, the Morris Mustangs, coming over to play in this tournament.
And even in this 50th edition, had the Four Nations Cup won by Team Canada last February. Cleared out of the Moncton High zone here. Warner across for Harris. Moncton High really going to just try to slow the play down here.
Right now, the biggest key is just going to be to kill time. This is not the time to make some crazy dangles or some risky passes. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Like here's Gillis walking in the corner, bounces up to Daigle. Daigle waiting to the line. Harris, that was hot to handle going across. That was a risky pass. Another one picked off. Guimont the other way. Skates in offside and collides with Harris against the boards.
Saint-Jean-Eudes already preparing to pull the goalie as we see the coach is already making the signs for the Saint-Jean-Eudes netminder to prepare to skate to the bench for the extra attacker.
And they're going to, if they pull the goalie, it's going to make it a 5-on-5. But they would have the ability to ice it if need be. Moncton High still on the power play for what's going to be most of the remainder. Vidal back skates in reverse. Caught by Gillis. In there as well as Goulet. That puck somehow goes flying outside the zone. Warner skating back looking for options. He's going to go across to Harris. Harris back for Warner. Warner going to dump it into the zone. He's going to fly around the boards and be not stopped by Goulet. He's going to fake the stop. Harris across Warner. Warner waits. Daigle backdoor. And he couldn't quite get a hold of it. Pass out in front. There's Gillis. Scores!
Ryan Gillis with the insurance marker at the 1 minute and 1 second mark as the Moncton High School Purple Knights pull ahead for their third goal and extend their lead by 2 goals.
And if you want to talk about goal differential, that's huge for Moncton High, getting an extra one with 1 minute and 1 second left. They score on the power play. Gillis waiting right in the slot and buries it into the back of the net.
And if you want to see Moncton High's journey at this tournament continue, tune in at 9:30 p.m. tonight as they take on St. John's Ravenscourt.
And here we go. They're up 3-1. Avery entering the zone. The shot is caught by Morneau for a whistle at 54 and some still to go.
And right now, if you're Moncton High, just keep doing what you've been doing. Passing the puck, keeping it away from them, and just killing off each second.
And now they really want to keep it simple. A 2-goal lead within the last minute. This one rimmed along the boards. Beal unable to catch it. And a beautiful flip. That was almost perfect, but Parker LeBlanc sent it to the opposite wing. LeBlanc back up against the boards. The Condors are offside. And that'll be a whistle. That would have been a key zone entry. Face off. Tie up brought in by the Condors. Out of their reach. Warner flips this one high. And we have an empty net now. Or Morneau standing at about the face-off circle. Now he goes to the net. Moncton High has possession, however. Goulet for Warner. Brandon Warner, he'll clear this one out. It's a 6-on-5. Or it looks like Morneau's back in the net. Hesitating on whether to go to the bench or not. And here he goes. Now we have an empty. There's the shot save made by Sock. At the ringette line, another try. It's blocked. Beal has it in his feet. Still can't get a hold of it. Taken away by Goulet off the boards. And that will be the game. The Purple Knights take it by a score of 3-1. And there's Avery going after a couple players, having to skate by the Condors bench.
And it would be an understatement to say that Moncton High needed this win after opening up their tournament with a 5-0 defeat to the RHS Royals here, getting their goal differential to a -3 as they go into their third and final game at 9:30 p.m.
And just looking at the Condors bench, it looks like Noah Michaud just headed to the locker room without going for the players of the game. Well, we thank you for tuning in on MST. They are the Condors fans traveling from Quebec, bringing the lane to Aragon from the Dieppe Uniplex. The the 50th annual Dieppe Classic.
And join us right after the flood and player of the game for the Avon View Avalanche versus Le Clermont Cormier Cavalier in the women's division coming right up.
The DNA Swag Dieppe Hockey Classic Player of the Game for the Condors, number 81, Antoine Guimond. The DNA Swag Dieppe Hockey Classic Player of the Game for the Purple Knights, number 17, Campbell Harris.